In 2 nights, just south of the northern border of the USA, something's about to begin in Impact Wrestling. That something being a rebellion, as Impact presents Rebellion 2022, taking place from the Mid-Atlantic Civic Center, or Mid-Hudson Civic Center, excuse me, in Poughkeepsie, New York. We've got 9 matches on the card. Let's run them down. We'll start off with the pre-show matches. First up, a triple threat match for the X Division title. The champion, Trey Miguel, defends against both Ace Austin and Speedball Mike Bailey. Anyone who knows me knows for the past 10 months or so, I've been subscribed to Speedball's Twitch account and have gotten to know him through a couple of call-ins on his Twitch show. Mike's a nice guy, but I think he's a little too trusting. Way too trusting in some ways. Hang on, I forgot a match. Anyway, do I believe that Trey's going to walk out of here with the X Division title in hand? No. In my opinion, my pick is going to be that while Ace and Speedball are going to work together for quite a while throughout the match, I believe that Ace, being the selfish little son of a bitch that he is going to end up double-crossing Speedball and steal the X Division title right out from Bailey's nose. So I am taking Ace Austin to win this matchup. If you look at heel logic like that, and trust me, I have looked at every angle for this particular matchup, I don't believe, at worst, Miguel gets away with the title still. At best, Austin comes away and ends up stealing it right out from under Speedball's nose, and this sets up a feud between the two that I think concludes rather quickly at Slammiversary, knocking Speedball back down the card and forcing to work his way back up to gain the X Division Championship. The other pre-show match is for the Impact Knockouts tag titles. The Inspiration, formerly the Iconics, Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay, challenging Madison, Rayne, and Tenille Dashwood without Caleb with a K, aka Caleb Conley. That's spelled with 2 C. That's Caleb spelled with a C. Since his Impact contract ran out and he was released from the company, now that neither side has Caleb serving as a distraction, this is finally a match that's on an even playing field. I hope. My pick to win this one, I'm going to go with the Influence to retain the titles. It's not a popular pick, but I'm just going with what my gut is telling me. Next up, I think the match that'll kick off the show is this one. Johnathan Gresham versus Eddie Edwards of Honor No. The Foundation and Ring of Honor World Champion, the Octopus, Johnathan Gresham, against a man who's a former Ring of Honor World Champion, but no longer believes in the concepts of the company, and a man who leads the most sinister faction going in Impact right now, that being Honor No More, diehard Eddie Edwards, who many fans have come to see as a Judas to Impact. Now, here's my question with this match. If goated, will Gresham put the Ring of Honor World title on the line? Yes. Will Eddie pull every dirty trick in the book possible to win the title off him? Yes. Does this reopen the door between Impact and ROH? Impact, ROH, and AEW if Eddie does? Yes. But will he win it? Given the storylines that are building in AEW over with Gresham, Joe, and Lethal, possibly over Lethal going after either his mentor, Samoa Joe, and the Ring of Honor World TV title, or going after his former partner, Gresham, and the Ring of Honor World title. Belts he wants to hold for a third time each. I'm going to say the answer to Gresham dropping the title, if he's goaded into putting it on the line, is no. And it's on that logic alone that I believe Jonathan Gresham's going to tie Eddie up in knots and walk away the winner. Next up, oh boy, the top dog, Jonah, versus the Stone Pitbull, Tomohiro Ishii. In the words of one Homer J. Simpson, ooh, here we go. Ooh, here we go. This is going to be a slug, an all-out hoss fight. Simple as that. These two men are bruisers. They predicate their style on power. Yes, Raph, I heard about Forbidden Door on the 26th of June in Chicago. That should be tantalizing. But let's get through Capital Collision on May 14th first, okay, Raph? But I'm focusing on Rebellion at the moment. So let me get this out of the way. Anyway, for Ishii, this is basically going to be practice for what he's going to have to go through on May 14th, as in 2 weeks time, he's got a match in DC at Capital Collision against the Mad King, Eddie Kingston. But in this dogfight, who's coming out on top? I'm gonna go Ishii in this one. I mean, don't get me wrong. Jonah's around 350, and it's gonna be tough for him to get him up for the vertical drop brainbuster. But somehow, I think Ishii's gonna pull it off. Besides, they've been building up. I mean, they're building up something else for Jonah, namely him and PCO ending their feud once and for all. And I believe that's going to go down at Slammiversary. But that being said, moving on to the next matchup. This was the match I missed out of the non-title matches. Triple threat match. Switchblade Jay White versus Steve Maclin versus Chris Sabin. Sabin has been the linchpin for both White and Maclin's involvement in this storyline. Sabin took White under his wing when he was on excursion and was making a few stops in Ring of Honor. Maclin was welcomed into the fold to initially fight Honor No More by Sabin for Team Impact, only for him to throw that trust out the window because Maclin didn't believe anyone else trusted him. Him at Sacrifice, attacking Reina. Then throw in the fact that Sabin got a pinfall win over Jay White at the Multiverse of Matches event, and then Maclin attacked him, and White in turn low-blowed Maclin. So Maclin's got beef with both of them. If it's still his era, Jay White is going to find a way to win this one. But personally, I'm getting sick of the USFJ Open Challenge. And granted, this match is not part of the USFJ Open Challenge. That's not coming up again until Capital Collision. But my point still applies. I want Jay White back in Japan as soon as he gets his visa issues resolved. I'm going to go with Maclin to win this matchup as my upset. Next up, the three remaining title matches. First up, or four remaining title matches, I should say. First up, knockout title match. Tasha Steelez is defending against Rosemary. I'm taking Tasha to retain her title. It's too soon to get it off her. And Rosemary is basically a glass cannon at this point in her career. Why I think she's been spending most of her time in the tag ranks in recent months. As a tag wrestler for the past several months. Next up, while technically one would not call this part of the Champ Open Challenge, Deonna Purrazzo's little shtick, one of her titles is on the line, specifically the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship, which is basically AAA Mexico's biggest women's title. Her challenger, Taya Valkyrie. Now, personally, I want Taya to get this title off of Deonna, to show that the Virtuosa is not as invincible as she not the invincible juggernaut she claims she is. And make her taste a piece of humble pie. And this would finally set up that matchup between Deonna and Mercedes to crown the undisputed Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. Whenever that happens, I don't fucking know. However, I do not see it happening at Taya getting that title off Deonna. I do not see that happening at Rebellion. So I will take Deonna Purrazzo to retain the AAA Reina de Reinas this title, much to my dismay and disgust. Next up, 8-team elimination challenge for the Impact Tag Team titles. Violent by Design, probably going to be Eric Young and Joe Doring with the Diener in their corner, defending against 7 teams. We only know 5 of the other teams, and they are the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Machine Gun Carl Anderson, Rich Swann and Willie Mack, Heath Slater and Rhino, the Decay, Black Taurus and Crazy Steve, and Honor No More's OGK, Matt Taven, and Michael Bennett. Who will the other 2 teams be? I don't know. It can't be the team of Bay and White or the Motor City Machine Guns, because White and Sabin are in the triple threat match. So those teams can't be it. So those teams can't be the 2 teams we're missing. Would I be surprised if one of the teams is them boys, the Briscoes? Yes, I would be. But that still leaves one open spot. I mean, you could throw the band back together and bring in AMW, Chris Harris and James Storm, but we don't know where Storm has been. And Harris has basically put away his boots for years. He's had his boots put away for over a decade in most cases. Same thing with saying bring back the Naturals. It's not going to work. I mean, Chase Stevens and Andy Douglas. It's not going to work. Until we find out who those other 2 teams are, I'm not filling in those slots. That said, my pick to win is up in the air because it's multiple teams instead of just 1, instead of just 2. As for who I would pick, don't be surprised if Violent by Design sneak out of here with the titles still in their hands. So I'll go that route. I am taking Violent by Design to retain the titles. Finally, the main event. Josh Alexander, the walking weapon, finally gets his hands on the man that basically strong-armed him out of the title, i.e. attacked him at Bound for Glory after he won it, threatened his wife and son, and then beat him in 7 seconds, despite the fact his wife and son were still in the ring. I'm referring to world champion Moose. And personally, if the fans that live just outside Toronto are going to be happy, and I know Impact doesn't really do this all that often, especially not lately, because they love giving heels longer title runs than baby faces. Something that has always pissed me off with this company and with this promotion. Scott D'Amore or whoever's the booker in Impact, you want to send the fans home happy? Get that belt off Moose on Saturday night and give it back to Josh Alexander so he can have a proper celebration with his wife and son. My pick to win and walk out of Poughkeepsie, the new Impact World Champion, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. And you can take that to the bank. That's all I've got for today. Leave a comment, smash that like, sub to the channel. Mets2128 signing out. Goodbye. Good night. Bang!